Okay, here we go. Knight f3, bishop c4. This is the Italian game, and this is the two knights defense. Against this, let's try the fried liver. On takes, knight a5 is the main move, and here you're supposed to go bishop d3 according to theory. That if pawn to h6, you have knight e4. And that's one of the best moves, I guess. There is that. Castle shot. If pawn to e4, I just take. Yep, this is a bad move. So this guy is rated 2156. Yet they seem not to know the theory behind this. Let me just take. Why not? Now we attack the queen. Indirectly attack the pawn, but the idea is to go pawn to d4, paving the way for my bishop. The pawn is protected, there's no checkmate. I need to put my bishop here as soon as I can. We develop the dark squad bishop for now. Bishop back, as I said. Do we have that? Or maybe now I can take. Oh, wait a second. Look at this. Wow. I was going to lose in a very terrible manner. This is why it's always important to exercise patience in chess. Guess now I can do this, attacking the rook. And I'm going to take the pawn. I must defend the g2 pawn. I do not understand this move, but well, the idea is still to take. Let's just take. And let's do this little trick, you guys. I want to go bishop e5. I guess black is going to play something like bishop c5. I'm trying to read their mind. What if I just attack that? Give a check. Let's try this. It's gonna be fun. We take. Next, give a check. So I just sacrificed my queen. If I wanted, I could have just retreated it back to c1. But maybe I want to prove a point, who knows? This is not easier than I thought. Let's take, defended by my light squad bishop, and there's checkmate. We take, still defending my pawn on g2. Have a discovery. My opponent just resigned. I sacrificed my queen. Who does this in chess? Oh, by the way, what was I going to do if my opponent played queen c2? I'm not really convinced. Besides, I was you know, very down on time. Maybe I was just going to give a check. Yeah, this was going to be almost checkmate. And just a friendly reminder, all of my courses are still on promotion. Yes, you still get 50% discount on all of them. That is, you will get a discount of 50% when you purchase any of my courses. Right. In this game, I was playing against a 2307 rated opponent by that name on the screen, Alamag, and I started with pawn to e4, the king's pawn game, and my opponent responded with pawn to c6, the Caro-Kann defense. Then I played pawn to d4, standard move, controlling the center of the board. My opponent played pawn to d5. Then what did I do? Knight c3. Oh, why? So with this move, my idea was to take on e4 with my knight and wait for knight f6 so that I could take as well. But my opponent played bishop f5. At this point, I started thinking of the two knights attack, which we play against the Caro-Kann. And that's where we go knight g3, attacking that bishop. Most people play bishop g6, which my opponent played, and then I played pawn to h4 immediately. The idea is just to go pawn to h5, trapping that bishop. Somehow, my opponent played pawn to h6, again the top played move, and what did I do? I played h5. There's a reason. After bishop h7, I then played knight f3, and my opponent played knight d7, probably stopping knight e5. But I still played bishop c4, and they played pawn to e6, played queen e2, and then my opponent played knight gf6. Anyways, I still played knight e5 because, I wanted to sacrifice my knight on f7, but my opponent played the top played move, which is knight takes. I took back with my pawn, also attacking that knight. Then knight d7 was played. A more popular move is knight d5. In this position, this is what most people play. After this, maybe I was just going to cast a shot and continue with life. You see, every game of chess has two sides, just like every coin. If your trap or your dirty tricks fail to work, play position the chess, develop all your pieces to their most potential squares, and attack later in the middle game. It's not just about delivering quick checkmates or impressing your spectators. Anyway, my opponent didn't play knight d5. They played knight d7 after I took back on e5. So they played knight d7 like that, and then I followed it up with bishop e3. I do admit that this was a blunder. By the way, don't forget this was a 1-minute bullet match, but I still had a plan. At worst, I wanted to castle long, involving my a-rook into the game. At best, I just wanted to improve my rook, also castling. But anyway, my opponent played the best move according to Stockfish, queen a5 check, to punish my mistake. This is why this move was a blunder, bishop e3. They didn't even have to take immediately with their knight. I played pawn to c3, a walk of shame, and after queen takes, I simply castled long. You can see this was my initial plan. Now, one lesson you're going to learn from this game is the difference between engine advantage and human advantage. Just because Stockfish evaluates a certain position as bad for you, it doesn't mean that your opponent also thinks like that. Humans have their own way of thinking. So even at this stage, I was very comfortable to continue playing because in my mind, I was convinced. I knew that my opponent was not Stockfish. Anyway, my opponent castled long as well. And then I played queen f3. Now hold on. When I reached this position, I remembered one queen sacrifice that I studied a long time ago in a random chess puzzle on Lichess. If I may recall well, that queen sacrifice occurs in the Scandinavian defense. You are going to see what I did to my opponent's soul from here. They played bishop c5, and then I simply played bishop f4. At this point, I was very much convinced that I was going to checkmate my opponent in 2 after they played queen f6. I give you 10 seconds for you guys to find the best continuation from here, which I automatically played in 1 second. The time starts now. I guess you guys found the correct move in this position, which is queen takes c6. That's a very cold-blooded move, and believe it or not, I was able to find this move in 1 second because of my photographic memory that I have developed over the years in chess. And this is why I beg you guys most of the times to solve a lot of chess puzzles, because some of these things keep on repeating over and over. Chess positions and variations repeat themselves. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but positions and structures tend to become relatable as you solve a lot of chess puzzles. The only move for black in this position is pawn takes queen, after which I delivered bishop s6 checkmate. How cool was that? Here is another blitz game where I intend to sacrifice the queen given a chance. Let me be very careful in the opening stage. S6. Can I take now? Let's shift the knights to the king side. So you just wait and see where I will sacrifice my queen. I'm still trying to find the right time. I think I can cast a shot now. Let's do this. Knight e4 to occupy space. Kind of the reversed stonewall defense, stonewall. This guy is very careful with his queen. But I'm still trying to build a powerful position that will enable me to exchange queens. Let's take for now. Okay, this time let's sacrifice the rook first. I'll take if pawn to f3 is played. What I'm teaching you is that chess is not just about how many pieces you have, but it's about how many active pieces you have. In that case, I did not need the rook. That's what my spirit told me. If I won't be able to sacrifice the queen, I'll... Wait a second, what did white do? They sacrificed their bishop, so now I'm just up by a piece. That was not a wise decision by white. But anyway, white sacrificed back material. I wanted to sacrifice my knight here. No, just trying to play a sacrificial game. If not the queen, let it be another minor piece. Like, let's protect the bishop. I know there's that. Now, let's do this. There's a trick I want to create here. How about we attack let's take. This is not the right time. Speaking of sacrificing material, let's do this. we give a check. I have queen takes. So at worst, this can be a draw. Yeah, before that, I can just repeat moves. Let's try to do this 2 times. Again. Just to see what my opponent is going to do. Maybe they are going to avoid a draw. Do I also have rook c8? Let's do this one more time. Ah, it was already threefold. I did not count that properly. I mean, there was nothing what was going to do that. Takes again, check. At worst, it was just going to be a draw. At best, maybe I was going to win like that. Now, check this out, you guys. If you want to learn more about these kinds of tricks or similar opening ideas like the ones I just shared, you can watch this video that has popped up on the top left. Another video that I highly recommend you check out to skyrocket your rating is this one that has popped up on the top right. But if you love Gambit videos, you can check out the video that has popped up on the bottom left. And if you are a lover of chess traps like myself, feel free to click on the video that has popped up on the bottom right.